Ontario Place is getting a makeover, but it's coming with controversy. Now, yesterday we told you all about Premier Doug Ford's vision for this iconic landmark, a new stage over here. The Science Centre will be moved to on top of that parking lot. And to the west end of Ontario Place, an Austrian company will operate a water park and a giant spa. Now, critics are opposed to this idea, and today we're giving them a chance to explain why. The plan is to give a facelift to the 52-year-old jewel on the waterfront, which has been neglected ever since the McGuinty government closed it 11 years ago. This is the new vision: a marina, boardwalks, cafes, and children's play areas. It also includes a water park and wellness center, which will be operated by Therma, a company from Austria.
I think what we're witnessing is a mugging in broad daylight, a hijacking of a piece of public land for private interests of very, very dubious value.
Ken Greenberg is an urban planner and member of Ontario Place for All, a grassroots group adamantly opposed to the Ford government's plans.
It's a franchise. They all look absolutely identical. They're in rural or semi-rural areas outside cities, surrounded by gigantic parking lots.
The Ontario Place location will be Therma's first urban setting. Its water park and wellness centre will be 6 stories high and take up 19% of Ontario Place's 155 acres of land and water.
If you took the stadium, BMO Field Stadium, which has the open grandstands, if you made a box out of that, that's the volume of this thing.
Therma says it's in the process of tweaking its design due to the criticisms.
We've been listening really closely.
The province has signed a 95-year lease for the land with Therma. We tried to get more information about that from the Minister of Infrastructure. Why so long?
And they're making a significant investment into the site.
How do you make sure, though, that something doesn't go wrong? That, 95 years is a long time. What if this company goes bankrupt?
Well, we always negotiate in the best interest of taxpayers.
Critics argue a lack of transparency surrounds the Ford government's plans. For example, no environmental assessment will be done on Therma's design. There are also few details on the planned 6-level, 2,100-car underground parking garage paid for by taxpayers. And no numbers to justify the government's claim it is cheaper to move the Science Centre to Ontario Place rather than renovate the existing site. Premier Ford has made it clear Ontario Place isn't just for Toronto.
Last time I checked on the sign out there, it doesn't say Toronto Place, it says Ontario Place.
But is it good for Toronto? That depends on who you ask.
There's going to be so much to do, so much fun.
It's just an accumulation of bad judgment, bad decisions.
Ontario Place for All believes the western portion of the lakefront property should be similar to Trillium Park to the east, at a fraction of the cost of a wellness center. It cites financial analysis it commissioned in 2019, which concludes creating a greater waterfront park would have longer economic benefits. The group believes its vision could become as iconic as Central Park in New York or the Millennium Park in Chicago. Can it be stopped? Should it be stopped? Those may be moot questions. The contract with Therma has been signed. Work has already begun to prep the site.
This work is now spinning up and it's going to be happening for the next couple of years. And again, think of the sanitary, the storm, the gas, the telco, the water, the wires.
One thing that could happen is the environmental stuff is so egregious and so wrong that the federal government is being asked to step in.
Ontario Place won't be complete for at least 7 years. Doug Ford may not even be premier by then. It could be his lasting legacy. Only time will tell if it will prove to be a good one over the next 95 years.